Good evening, everybody. How are we all doing? And welcome to BRL for round 7, our final round of the season. Wow, has it gone quickly? 8 rounds been and gone, and we are ready to try and finish this on a high. That is the hope, and I think we've come to a good circuit to try and finish on a high. It is ye old faithful. Oh, come on. Brazil. I think it's just the perfect way to finish a season, isn't it? It's just, I don't know, there's just something about it. It's just so refreshing, Brazil. And it's just a really nice way to round out a season. That's why we come here so often to finish our seasons. But we should probably have a little chat about what's going on in the championship. Because a fair amount is going on. So Mercedes, as you can probably tell, being on 171 points, are in a rather good position to win this season as constructors champions. However, that gap is, here we go, maths, just over 20 points difference, 23 points difference between Mercedes and Ferrari. And to get 23 points, you need to win the race, of which you get 25 points, and then your teammate can also pick up points. So yeah, what I'm trying to get at here, Mercedes really haven't won the championship yet. It's not wrapped up in the slightest. In fact, it might look like 23-point gap, but I mean that can be closed down in a matter of minutes. You know, one bad event to take place, and it all goes downhill from here. You know. I think I put the wrong loading screen up, but oh well. We also have some other important thing we need to look at. Well, I say important, it's not really very important because Mr. Cookie's won it. He's quite a margin in front now, 165 points for Mr. Cookie, 104 for Jay Thompson. But, right, our top two might be absolutely flying away from everybody with Mr. Cookie storming into the lead. But, right, it's an half close in the middle, isn't it? From J Horse down to Pablos, which is P4 to P10, there is a 10-point difference. The 10-point difference, that's nothing. To get 10 points, you need to finish 8th. To get 20 points, you need to finish 3rd. It's just ridiculous how close it is between all of them. So J Horse, Armalev, Danksy, Exotic, Kresnos, KTT, and Pablos all within 10 points of each other. The midfield fights are going to be so crucial. It is ridiculous. I mean, I genuinely can't say I've ever seen something of quite the nature before. But nevertheless, you don't want to listen to me talk. You want to watch some racing, don't you? So here we go. Here is some racing that is currently taking place. Has just been getting started. A couple of people just starting to put some times on the board. We're seeing. In particular, Styles Beast, Jezza, and Mr. Cookie have set times so far. As how on earth that Williams is still racing, I'm not too sure, but Blackbone will be incredibly relieved, I can only imagine. Yeah, Henson, next person through, but he is invalidated. Is it Star Wars Beast through next? McLaren, Caden. There are quite a few people that are just going for times again. Caden is going to actually try and set a time this time round. Goes P2. Miss Cookie has gotten off to an absolutely flying start, ain't he? 107.680. Mental. Really good start to the race. And the only start that he'd have been hoping for. No, Mr. Cookie, you know. Mr. Cookie likes to get off to a good start. And he's done just that. We've only got 14 drivers today. So let's play Who Are We Missing? Who are we missing? Sorry, I was just replying to our Henson there. I'm terribly sorry, our Henson. Got both Red Bulls. We have got both Ferraris. We've got both Mercedes. Okay, that is 3 teams down. and we're looking good. McLaren, only the one McLaren, so we're missing a McLaren. Aston Martin, we've only got one Aston Martin. Alpine, no Alpines whatsoever. Thank God for that. Get rid of the French. Alfa Romeo, we've got both Alfa Romeos. That's handy. Haas, only the one Haas. Both Williams. That's not bad going, actually. So not terrible. And Alpha Tauri, just the one Alpha Tauri. Whoa! I heard that. I heard a clunk there. I can't. Surely I can't be the only person that heard a clunk. Hazard's just gone purple sector 2, so let's see what he does coming to the line. He's very far behind off of the. Oh no, he might not be. 6, 7, 8, 8, 6 goes P4. Indigo has closed the gap right down on Mr. Cookie. It's 0.157 seconds difference is the square root of not a lot, to say the least. Oh, Aramleth coming in. That was surprising. I thought he was on for after. Oh, actually, no, to be fair, it's 1 to 10, 11 already. Have we actually got anybody on flyers? We got some people on outlaps. Has definitely not on a flyer. Star Wars Beast is on a flyer, so we'll watch Star Wars Beast. Let's see. Oh, it's slightly worse in the second sector. Let's see whether he can try and finish this off. He's currently P8. But you know what? Even if he gains 2/3, that's a decent little push up. 2 places. He'll be more than happy with it. He's going to the line, so he's probably in the green. He is in the green by some margin. Jesus Christ. His final corner must have been absolutely atrocious last lap. 4/10 faster that time round, which puts him P6. 1.1 off of Mr. Cookie. Speaking of Mr. Cookie, he's under a bit of threat because the 2 people that sit below him are out on track at the moment, so our current pole sitter is under threat. Kadam, though, is the only person on the fly. Indigo just on an outlap as of right now, and Kadam no longer on that lap, as you can probably tell by the fact that he's slowed down immediately. He needs to get some energy back into his ERS if he wants to try and go again. I don't know whether he'll opt to go again or whether he'll opt to come in, quick dash, fresh tyres. Well, actually, probably not. It would be quite a long wait onto some fresh tyres. This is my first time playing since Jeddah in PRL. Car, don't try to toss me too much, please. Wait, we doing full quality? No, we're not. Never mind. God, no, we never do full quality. Don't you worry. And if we have, shout at our Henson because he makes the lobbies. I'm fairly certain. Either our Henson or Cookie make the lobbies. They kind of share. We'll watch Indigo then, because if Caden's had a bit of a stinky lap, well, we got somebody to watch that's a bit more important. A little, I'd say, importance probably the wrong word. More in the fight for pole position, as I think we can probably agree Indigo is at the moment. I've got to say, and I think probably everybody's going to agree with me here. Sector 2 is the most important sector of the lap, because if you do that, things don't quite work out in qualifying. Like, that is not the kind of thing you want to be doing during qualifying. And I honestly don't think that could have happened at a better moment, considering I was about to say is Sector 2 is without a doubt the most important sector for your qualifying time. After all, Sector 1 has the center S's, which is, don't get me wrong, challenging, but nothing in comparison to the tight and weavy nature of Sector 2. And after all, Sector 3 has one braking zone, and that's it. So Indigo is a lot to learn for, a lot to learn from there. But I think he's going on a flyer immediately straight after. Yes, he is. Kresnos has just got to put time in. Not quite as fast as Indigo, but a hell of a lot better than what it was to begin with. So I don't think he's going to be complaining too much. Pushes up to P3. F1 Odyssey trying to close that gap a little bit between, pardon me, the midfield runners and sort of the front runners. Instead of it being nearly a second's gap between them, it is now only 7/10 of a second. So progress in a rather slow and miserable factor. A couple of movements happening at the moment. Aramalev and our hence, I think Aramalev just coming through there to set that time, though, has invalidated. We're going to just hop back to Indigo because we're coming up to his corner of death. He's nailed it that time. So fair play to him. He's done much better that time round than he did last time, but he stopped. So obviously that lap wasn't great. Yeah, 13 seconds down. He's got 100% ERS now. Is he diving into the pits? I'd expect him to. Why would you stay out? He stayed out. He waited a long time to put his ERS on then. You need to be putting ERS on basically before you hit the final braking zone, so you're at top speed by the time you hit turn 1. You know, it's not a lot of difference. But, you know, it's important. And Indigo invalidating once again. Indigo is not having a good time here, and I think he might just bottle his chance at going for pole here. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, Mr. Cookie's still not yet to come out again after his... after his first lap. He's put that one lap in and he's coming to the pit. Surely he can't be confident on it. I mean, considering the fact that he's got the closest person to him is 0.15 seconds off, surely you ain't got the confidence to stay in and do a Vettel. I mean, fair play to him if he does, but I'm not brave enough for that. Orion has just gone and put a time in there. Sorry, I didn't even spot Orion. Damn. Okay, that just throws another person into the mix. Only issue is, I don't think he's going to get another chance round. He might just. It is a short lap after all. You only really need to be coming out of the pits with about 2 minutes to go before it's all over. Where was Orion before that? Is he... Whoa! Williams just going through, breaking some boards. I remember Orion being particularly high up the order. No, he wasn't. He hadn't put a time in. Well, that'll be why I wasn't really paying much attention to him, because he just went from having no time to going to second fastest. Daedric hitting the grass. Not good. Currently P13. It could be worse. At least you're not 23 seconds off the pace. You know. Take the positives when you can. Blackbone currently spinning about, doing... I'm really not sure at the moment. Blackbone, this is not his session, is it? He's having an absolute nightmare of a session. And he'll be wanting to turn it around very quickly. I've got to say, right. Sorry, completely going off track immediately. Nearly everybody is within a second of our leader. And yet everybody's so off the pace at the same time. Between P5 and P12, there's just over 0.3 of a second. Like, what? This could be one hell of a midfield fight, you know. This could be interesting. We're going to follow Mr. Cookie. He's going to be really quite important. He's got Kadem just in front of him. F1ology's retired in a really risky place there. He could quite easily lose so many places having DNF'd. I was about to say, Mr. Cookie's following Canem very closely there, but Canem just moving out of the way, and Mr. Cookie not really going for much of a fast lap, to be fair. Really sure what's going on, if I'm being perfectly honest. So two people out now, F1ology and Jens, who has currently was P13. If Blackburn can actually get a time in, you never know. So Mr. Cookie invalidated, so he'll be going for another lap soon. So I believe it's Indigo that's the next through of possible pole contenders. Yes, I am correct. Currently P3, 0.157 to go to get to Mr. Cookie. Obviously, he's going to want to try and put a buffer on that. It's currently not a buffer. It's actually a deficit, and 0.134 faster than his time before, which would put him very close to Cookie, but not quite on him, about 2 hundredths of a second off. Let's see, right to the line he goes. It's not pole. It's 0.0118 thousandths of a second slower than Mr. Cookie's pole time. Kresnos will be someone else to try and put a time in. It's not going to be this lap, though, because he is trundling along. And Mr. Cookie finally gets himself going. I think seeing Indigo put that time in has definitely relieved some nerves. But Orion Lemons has just sort of appeared out of nowhere and put a P3 after being the back, just setting a time. So this could be a very close four-way fight for pole position. Indigo is going to really struggle to get another lap in, but it's totally plausible to be able to do it. It's a purple sector 1 from Mr. Cookie, so faster still for him. Definitely trying to create a bit of breathing space between himself and some of the other drivers in the mix. Kresnos just slightly further down the road, but not on a flying lap. He'll be getting started, and he will make it onto another flying lap this time round. So he will get the opportunity to go once more. It's not a lot of time, but it is just about enough time. Mr. Cookie is faster. It's by 300ths of a second. These guys are really on the limit already. Can Mr. Cookie etch anything out? No, he's invalidated. He's invalidated at the final hurdle. Mr. Cookie will come across the line, and what time will he take? He doesn't quite make it. Then drive straight into the wall. So, Lemons, I believe, is the next one through. Yes, he is. How's Sector 2 coming along? Is it going to be enough? It might be. If he can absolutely nail Sector 3. He's going to have to do about 300ths of a second to be able to close down to Mr. Cookie. I've got absolutely no idea whether you can make it or not. Can he make it up in the final sector? Yes, he can. He puts himself on provisional pole for now. Kresnos, the next man through, is faster through, and he's invalidated as well. He's done exactly what Cookie did. Can Indigo do it? He's invalidated as well, and all of a sudden, 4 of the 3 drivers fall away at the final hurdle, and it's all gone horribly, horribly wrong for Cookie, Indigo, and Kresnos. That is a shock. All invalidated too. At exactly the same corner. Unheard of. So by the skin of his teeth, Orion Lemons has made it onto pole position for the Aston Martin side, with Mr. Cookie lining up in P2 behind him. Just 18 thousandths of a second down the road from him, though. Indigo in P3 for Haas, and Kresnos P4 for Alfa Romeo, who is actually a lot further away than everyone would have anticipated. Henson in P5 for Ferrari, and F1ology P6 for Red Bull. Beast in P7 for the Williams, and Hazard P8 for AlphaTauri. Jezza P9 for Mercedes, and Araman P10 for Ferrari. Other than that, we've got Daedric, Cadem, Blackbone, Jens rounds out our pack. Alrighty, we should be getting going any moment now, or at least that is the hope. For the final time this season, it's happened. It's gone by so quickly. I'm not a fan. But next time I'm here, will be in F124. So I don't really know how to feel about that either. Melancholy. Melancholy. I don't like this game, but it feels a bit weird. Quite depressing that I'm going to pay £70 for the game as well. It's just a depressing fact, man. Let's do it. One more time. 5 red lights. Took a little while, but we are indeed underway, and Lemons gets off to a very good start. Can he block Cookie into turn 1, or is Cookie being able to try and go down the inside? That is the plan. Doesn't quite pull off for now. He'll tuck in P2 just behind. We got the Alfa Romeo switching to the left-hand side. Kresnos unable to get past at the very first hurdle, and that could open the door for the Ferrari just behind. But in front, Mr. Cookie still trying to get past, going into turn 4. Big push off, and Mr. Cookie onto the sides. And have to try and rejoin the pack as and when he can. Gets in, tucks in nicely there in P7. But that is a huge blunder to Mercedes' chances of taking home Constructors champions. Unfortunately, Aramlev starting being all the way at the back is going to be a huge problem for them, as Mr. Cookie and Jezza just keep swapping and changing their positions. And other than that, I think all is well. Absolute chaos at the back, may I say, actually. All is kicking off here. Aronlev just getting up a position. Jen's falling down to P14. I think McLaren of Kadam trying to sneak his way through there. Couldn't quite pull it off. And the Mercedes of Jezza goes flying round. So it's been a horrible, horrible first lap for the Mercedes. They've gone so terribly badly. But for Lemons, it's a really, really solid start. Indigo in P2 for the Haas side, and Kresnos at P3 for the Alfa Romeo. They're staying very close to each other. There's a bit of a gap then back to our Henson, which is kind of what we expected. These three, maybe including Mr. Cookie as well, but we really did expect those to all fly away after pulling off very, very impressive qualifying times, and it is showing almost immediately. Can't really see much opportunity, but the other than the Alfa Romeo being very desperate in the nicest way possible to get past Indigo through that corner, that he locked the rears and it started spinning up, and Mr. Cookie's trying to go for a dive bomb here on Star Wars Beast, and it's a beautiful move from Cookie. Gets himself back up to P5, and he could see himself back with the front runners fairly soon if he can get himself possibly past our Henson Sharpish. Kresnos rounds. Oh no, Kresnos is round. Don't know what happened there, but he is round and he's got himself going again. It isn't going to be a safety car or anything. There's no damage or debris on track, but he finds himself from P3 down to P12, which is agonizing for him. And Mr. Cookie there going and setting fastest lap, clearly showing that he's interested in getting back into this fight as swiftly as physically possible, which for him I do not blame in the slightest. F1ology and Daedric Prince there just swapping positions as I was mentioning that, and I believe Daedric is interested in getting past. He's going to try and hold it to the outside. It's a little bit of a nudge. Maybe the Red Bull didn't quite give enough space. I'm not too sure. Either way, they're going to carry on into the long left-hander. Who's going to be able to take it? It is indeed Hazard. In fact, F1ology is going to have to hold back for now, and possibly, probably going to get into a bit of trouble with Kadam and Aramleth, who are pushing on the back of him. Oh, Henson's just closed the gap a little bit to Indigo with the help of DRS, which hugely benefits Cookie as well, because if Cookie can get past our Henson, then all of a sudden that sort of a struggling first lap is almost eradicated. Obviously, he doesn't get the benefit of being able to try and pull away within those first couple of laps, but at least he's back up with the front of the pack. But look at this, our Henson already, with the help of DRS, fully involved in this fight at the front, which is turning to be very interesting indeed. Can Lemons hold on to his position? I don't think Indigo is quite close enough to be able to go for a move. No, he's not. Neither was Cookie to the back of our Henson, especially with our Henson with the, having the benefit of being in a DRS train is just going to make it a lot more difficult for the Mercedes driver. The Ferrari doing really well at the moment. Doing well to keep Cookie at bay and make sure he doesn't get up to his usual antics. Our Henson's known for this. He's quite a calm and level-headed driver. So he knows when people are going to try and push him, and he knows when to push. And just there, defending really nicely from the Mercedes, who is trying every trick in the book to try and get past. I think he's just about managed to squeeze himself side by side, but I think the Ferrari just got the better acceleration out of the corner and has maintained P3 for now. But this fighting is unbelievably good. And we have a safety car. We have a safety car. Kadam, I believe, is our culprit for it. Coming into the pits as well as Armalev. So I believe these two must have got into a bit of a collision towards the back of the grid. But Lord knows what this could mean. And the cars are getting out just as fast as they entered, which is always very helpful. Last thing this lot want to be doing is wasting time in the pit lane. So being rather swift about it is always a good idea. And thus they do just that. Okay, so let's take a quick look at the tyres, because we still haven't looked at them, have we? No. So Lemons and Indigo, as well as Daedric, Blackbone, and F1ology, all on the alternate strategy. Mediums to hards is the prime, whereas hards and mediums is the alternate. What am I thinking? I'm thinking, personally, Lemons and Indigo in a not actually that ideal of a position. Really, they don't want to be losing laps on... Oh no, they might want to be losing laps, because then that means they get to spend more time or more laps on at full pace on mediums. So yeah, actually, Lemons and Indigo, good position at the moment. Our Henson Cookies Star Wars, slightly worse off, but it's not major, if that makes sense. We always got to think, if somebody on hard tyres can keep up with somebody on mediums, then it's good chance that the person on hard tyres will be the victor of that fight. It does just tend to be the case most of the time. Let's look at our wins and our losses. Our biggest loss at the moment is F1ology, who's down 6. And our biggest win, as it stands, is Blackbone, who's up 5 from 12. Really good start to the race. It's nearly a position gained every lap. I'm going to say, fair play to you. I certainly couldn't do that. Luckily, I know we have a safety car, but we still have all of our drivers, which is surprisingly rare. You don't usually get a safety car and keep all your drivers. You know, usually at least one person has started off into the barrier. But not this time. It is much calmer. Well, I do hope that we get going this lap. Everybody's here. Say a hey. Almost like I know how this game works, isn't it? We are getting going with Orient. Lemons being the man to take us away. Holding back nicely, allowing the safety car to come into the pit. The safety car is indeed in. So it is now up to the Aston Martin to decide when to get going. Time is now. He's off. And has done a really good job to jump Indigo straight off the back. Indigo is going to be under a fair bit of pressure from our Henson into turn one, but I think our Henson under more pressure from Mr. Cookie just behind, so had to defend there heading into turn one, but was able to return to the driving line. And Jezza picking up a 3 seconds penalty as well as Kadem, I think for identical reasons, multiple warnings. And actually, really calm start. Other than the couple of penalties, nothing much to report on. We have got just a very tandem-based running at the moment. We need somebody to, you know, just go offline a little bit, cause a little bit of pandemonia. That's what we need. We need a little bit of chaos. Lemons has really used his safety car to his advantage because he's nearly a second clear, or he is a second clear now. But he's just close enough. If he can escape DRS, he's in a really, really good position. You'd be amazed just how escaping DRS can make such a big difference to your performance. Just because people then can't catch you down the straights, they have to then focus about the people behind them rather than the people in front. And it just slows down P2, 3, P3, P4 to a grinding halt. As look at this Hazard trying to make a diving move down the inside of F1 hasn't quite worked, and because of that, he's opened the doors to Kadem, who's walked straight through, taken a seat, and sat in between the two of them without a care in the world. And we have another safety car. Blackbone out. Not sure why, but he is out. I'm going to be brutally honest. The other safety car was boring. This one I still have nothing to talk about. We're on lap 9 of 36, so it's really too early to be pitting for anything. I mean, you could pit for ours if you really wanted, but they will be worn out and slow by the time you finish the race. Can't say I would recommend personally, but well, I don't play this game, so I really don't know. Oh, right, okay. So apparently I'm terribly wrong, because everyone's coming into pit. Let's see what happens. Jens is, I think, a couple of people staying out, and that is it. Indigo Softs. Now, I don't know about you. Can't see that working. You know, he's betting on another stop. That's what he's doing. All of a sudden, these medium tyres are really got to go the distance. Those soft tyres are going to be washed by after about 10 laps. You've still got another 16 to do after that, so it could be. Obviously, it's got to be a two-stop strategy. You can't one stop and do a set of softs. Like, in the nicest way possible. It's just not possible. Right, do excuse me for a moment whilst I also go grab a drink. Alrighty, well, with Aramlev coming right at the front, we have a race on our hands once again. Safety car is in this lap. Well, is in now. And Aramlev going very early. Hasn't done quite as well to hold everybody back, and all of a sudden, Indigo trying to go for a move on Lemons immediately. Can he get it on the inside? Not quite. The Aston Martin getting the much better mid to end of the corner. And look at that, Mr. Cookie. Absolutely flying off the right-hand side of the track and returning, and it's going to look to go 3 wide here. Is it going to be? No, it's not quite, but it might go 3 wide. Still was a bit of a push from Mr. Cookie, but he's managed to get himself up into the position. He's still managed to get slowed down in time as Lemons does indeed get past Indigo and is now trying to push onto Hazard. Whether he can get past or not, I'm not too sure, and he's try and go for it. Indigo soaring through the left-hand side. Can he quite? No, he gets blocked by the AlphaTauri, so they both manage to get through on that corner and try and push on to Aramlev. And it is a hell of a lot racier this time round. Everybody is trying to pass everybody, it seems. Lemons and Indigo, I think, are very interested in getting past down this straight, especially Lemons. Switches to the inside, doesn't have an awful lot of space, but the Ferrari does finally open up and allow him a bit of space. Oh, bit of a knock there, sending the Aramlev flying a little bit. I think that might have been a slight switch of the wheel. Not sure what happened there. I don't know whether it was intentional or not, but I think the stewards will still need to look at that. Nevertheless, Indigo just holding back for a moment, allowing Lemons just a little bit of space. Alrighty, and beginning to calm down, but I say that F1ology just hooking it down the inside of Hazard, gets that place and moves himself up to the front of this rather large winding pack. And now Indigo still very, very close to the back of Lemons. Is going to try and go for the move. Had to try and look to the outside as the Aston Martin pushed to the inside to defend the corner. Defended nicely. Stays in that position. All hell's broken loose here, apparently. Everybody's moving everywhere. Kresnos, I think, has fallen down to the back of the grid. Yes, he has. Mr. Cookie, Star Wars Beast, and the Ferrari all in tandem. I think it's nearly about 3-4 wide at some point. Lord knows what's going on here. I think the Rebel is going to be able to go and sneak in front of both of them. Yes, it is Daedric Prince. And I think Star Wars is going to maybe slot in. No, they're going to still fight with Cookie. Who's going to get it? Cookie just losing out on a bit of space, and he really had nowhere to go and get spun round. Mr. Cookie once again falling to the back of the grid. I can tell you for free, that is not a situation you want to find yourself in. Because what happened to Cookie happens every time. Every time. Stars Beast just losing a couple of positions there. Mercedes of Jezza getting through. Indigo still fastest once again. But just not quite able to push Indigo. Oh no, sorry. Indigo's got in front. Right, okay, that's news. Which makes a surprising amount of sense, because of course he would be able to go faster now he's free. Alrighty. I mean, this midfield fight, it's quite something, isn't it? It's certainly something to keep your eyes peeled out on. Indigo and Lemons have absolutely flown away at this safety car restart. 5 seconds now, the gap between Lemons and Irons, and they've just wandered off. I don't quite know how they've wandered off at quite the rate they have, considering it's only been about 3 laps since the safety car finished. And yet 5 seconds already, and I think, look at that, Armanef saw him trying to go for the move, has tried to go for the move, has made the move, and the sorry, I'll get there eventually. The AlphaTauri did try the switchback. He had a little look, but negated that. Actually, no, that was a terrible idea. He may as well just do it on the straight where it's a lot easier. That's exactly what he's done. Oh my God, the red car, Ferrari of Armanef, just trying to look to kind of get on the outside and hook it around the outside. It's surprisingly doable in that corner. Only issue is then you then have the outside at this corner. Oh, Jez has gone spinning off. Not quite sure what caused that, whether it was a little bit too much throttle or not. But anyway, and just tucks in there right in front of the Williams. And not great race play, I'm going to be totally honest with you. But they've survived just about. And look at this. Has Indigo disconnected? Oh no, he's not. He's just ghosted. Not sure why he was ghosted there, but he was ghosted. That's allowed Lemons straight back through. So all of that work, effort, and soft tyres of Indigo, all of a sudden, he's just losing out on precious time on those soft tyres where they're going to be within a functioning window. Armanef trying to go down the inside of Hazard. Can he get it done? They're going to go side by side around the left-hander. Who's going to be the man in front? They're still side by side coming up the hill. This should allow the AlphaTauri to get a bit of an advantage on the shorter section of the track. The Ferrari pushes very wide, and the AlphaTauri just tucks in, elects not to go for the move, interestingly enough. Just must have been, probably not feared, but just didn't quite have the opportunity to be able to follow through the corner and go down on the braking zone, which is one of my personal favourite places to go for a move. Though, actually, my favourite is the tight right after that, because you've got 2 basically identical corners that just come in at slightly different angles. And look at the fighting still taking place. Armanef finally getting himself through. But with a 3-second time penalty is just problems after problems for so many drivers. And they're all going to get bunched up together again. Daedric gets himself in front. Jens gets himself in front of the AlphaTauri. Hazard falling all the way down to 9th place because Krasnos has got in front as well. It's unbelievably close between these 4. Why has it taken till the last race of the season for this to happen? This AlphaTauri, Hazard is having an absolutely appalling lap. He's just losing place after place after place. No corners getting hooked together. This Williams is basically barging his way through. Star Wars is just doing anything he possibly can to try and get past the AlphaTauri that is just losing tenths of a second in every single corner. Incredible, right? Look at how much time they've lost in a lap. Hazard's pace has just completely fallen off a cliff. And he's defending his life on this Williams. It's brilliant defending. Williams has absolutely nowhere to go. He's really... oh, God, that was a really ambitious move. He's made it stick, Star Wars Beast. Just as I say, it's brilliant defending from Hazard. It all goes to pot. But oh well. It was very good whilst he was doing it. And whoa! Oh my god, I thought it was a major collision was about to happen then. Luckily, Kresnos coasted. I thought all was about to go very, very, very wrong there. And Indigo has gotten past Lemons once again. Took quite a lot of laps to get it done, and he's lost it immediately. Lemons straight back through again, just corners later. Hopefully, that battle continues to cause chaos. Would be my only hope. Kresnos, Starsby, sorry, catching up to Kresnos, who is the person that's really lost time to these three fighters, who are just on such like terms for pace. It is unbelievable. What's interesting as well is that Daedric is on 15 lap old mediums, but then you got Amaleth, Daedric's on 10 lap old mediums, Amaleth's on 15 lap old mediums, and Jen's on 9 lap old hards. It's just such a variety of strategies, and yet they are all like for like on pace. As I say, I thought he was diving into the pit lane for a second then, but no, he has actually managed to, Daedric, get a good sort of distance between himself and the other two. Whether he can hold it or not, I'm not too sure. Same as Indigo here, whether he can hold it into this right-hander. This time he does hold it, thankfully for him. Right. Not an awful lot going on, is there, at the moment? No, it's gone from being so busy we can't focus on everything that's going on to now everything's kind of fizzled out a little bit. This is the issue with Sector 2 as well. Oh, Indigo's pit. I spotted that. In he comes on those soft tyres. Has he made up enough time to come out in front of our Henson? I can tell you for free the answer to that question is no. No, he hasn't. He hasn't made up enough time. Another set of softs. It's a set of mediums till the end now. Which is what? There's still another 14 laps on those medium tyres. Yeah, the mediums are going to last. Like, that's not much of a question behind that. Those mediums are lasting. Are everyone's else mediums going to last? I'm not too sure about that one. That could be a bit more interesting. Bit more interesting than that, though, right now, is the fact that we've just got on a safety car and Amleth has just passed Daedric Prince, and all of a sudden Indigo could either be in a really good position or in deep, deep trouble. Because he's not going to catch up to Lemons. If Lemons comes into the pit now, what's it? Indigo will not catch up to him. He's probably going to catch up to about F1ology-ish? Maybe? I mean, it's a 13-second gap. So, yeah, Lemons will still be at the front. If he can sneak in between Lemons and our Henson, in between that 14-second gap, then no positions are lost, you know. And it's not a terrible, bad bit of luck. F1ology's in. Arameth will probably be in as well, yeah. So will Daedric. Indigo stays out, unsurprisingly. Everyone else in. I think somebody's just gone for a move there in the middle. I think that was Kresnos. Yeah, Kresnos just overtaking his teammate on pit entry. Brave, very brave. Hang on a minute. Is he going to come out in front? No. But, as I said, yes, he lost 7 seconds in that pit stop. But he's going to be lining up behind the safety car. If it was a virtual safety car, yes, 7 seconds. Oh dear, that's a horrible loss to have. But obviously it's a safety car, so he's just going to catch right up, isn't he? But so's our Henson, and so's F1ology. And everyone's on softs. Oh no, not everyone's on softs. A few people are on mediums. Though it makes sense for people to switch to the softs, because now it's only going to be about 10, 11 laps until the end of the race by the time we get going again. And these soft tyres will be, you know, maybe 1 or 2% by the time we hit to that point. So let's do a bit of a roundup of what's going on at the moment. Lemon's currently leading the race with a good opportunity to win it. Indigo P2 is going to have to try and hold on desperately to our Henson F1ology and Kresnos. Our Henson and Aronef P3 and P6. How does that place them for the... what do you call it? For the constructors. Let me quickly grab our point system just so I can talk it through with you and so I can remember it. And I'll fire up the constructors standings just so I can see them. You don't really need to, do you? So long as I explain it, it's absolutely fine. Right, so our Henson currently picks up 20 points. RMF currently picks up 14, so that's 34 points in favour of Ferrari. Mr. Cookie in P10 picks up 6 points. So the gap between the benefit that Ferrari are going to gain, they are going to see a plus 28 points over Mercedes. Is 28 points enough to get them the title as it stands? Oh, hang on, 13th. Jezza will get 2 points as well. So will 26 points be enough? Yes. Yes, it is. Currently, Ferrari stand as constructors champions. Not by a lot, it's a couple of points. If Mr. Cookie can... what was he in? He's P10 at the moment. If he got P8 or something, that throws it into a bit of trouble for Ferrari. They need to gain a position. Our Henson really needs to go up to second. Armlef can't afford to lose places. Issue is that Armlef is currently losing places because he's got a 3-second time penalty. So he's got to try and pull ahead 3 seconds to Daedric. Otherwise, Ferrari's title hopes are in trouble. As I say that, we do get underway once again with Orion Lemons under the safety car. And it's a good start for him. Crescent and F1ology just switching as you go into turn 1. Aronef already building a decent little break between himself and Daedric, 6/10 of a second. He'll just be hoping that Daedric can fight with Star Wars Beast at some point, maybe within this lap, to sort of prevent him from being able to catch up. But I think it could all be undone within basically a corner, because that's exactly what it felt like just then. Our Henson's keeping up with these guys fairly well. He's going to have to do a little bit more if he wants to try and take Indigo's place. That would be his big target and a really big benefit for the hopes of Ferrari's titles standings. And Mr. Cookie already up to P8. He is climbing through the pack. Is he going to be the man that upsets Ferrari's titles, dreams and hopes? Quite possibly. He's awfully good at that, Mr. Cookie. And right on the back of Daedric Prince at the moment. Looked to try and make the move. Didn't quite make it work. He's going to try again. Once again. Can he get it done? No, not quite. Also, you've got to remember Mr. Cookie also holding a penalty. He's holding a 3-second time penalty. So it's not all over just yet. Lemons with the fastest lap has just started pulling away from Indigo. Our Henson can't quite keep up with Indigo, but maybe a little bit of luck, maybe a little mistake from Indigo. He can get within DRS and sort of try and turn it around a little bit. Mr. Cookie desperate to try and get past Daedric. He's doing everything in his power. He's right on the back of that Red Bull car. I think he's going to try. Oh, he had a little look to go down the inside there, but it is a very risky move, as we've already seen. He's already had bad memories of it. He's gone for the late lunge. Can he get it done on exit? Hook it to the left-hand side. No, he's going to have to follow it to the next braking zone. No, he's not with a good enough exit. He does indeed get himself up to P7. Right, quick bit of maths time. We're currently 171 between 148, so needs 23 points. Ferrari need 24 points or more than Mercedes to win the title. Right, okay, that's a good way of putting it. Ferrari need 24 more points than Mercedes today. Star Wars Beast currently side by side with Daedric. I literally have no idea who's going to be the better man into the braking section. It's better on for the Williams to begin with, but it's a poor exit, which allows the Red Bull to swoop through. Daedric moving into P8. Star Wars Beast P9 for now does, with that poor exit, is going to allow Hazard to get through. And with the DRS of a century, could go for the late brakes on the Red Bull. Doesn't quite pull it off, and because of that, that's going to allow the Williams to come straight back through again. He's going to try everything in his power to hold it to the outside, but doesn't quite make it work. That's going to open the door for the Alfa Romeo to come through, and all of a sudden, Hazard's big hopes and dreams have come crumbling down very, very quickly. And he's going to need a new master plan to get himself back into a competitive position. Right, let's take another quick look at our standings. Our Henson currently sits in P3. He takes home 20 points. Armanef at P6. So that has not changed at 14 points. However, Mr. Cookie is currently P7, which means he brings home 12 points, which leaves 22-point gap. Ferrari need 2 more points to go ahead on points. Obviously, if they get 1 more point, they go level. So I'm not really sure how it's going to work, though. It's very difficult, to get a single point. Actually, I think the only odd positions is what, first, 12th, and 14th. That's it. There's really not a lot of odd points playing positions, which is surprising since most of the constructors' standings are odd numbers. But oh well. Or should I tell you why? Because they've all come in one of those places at least once, and then they haven't gone into it again. So it's just remained odd the entire time. Our Henson, by the looks of it, is going to be 3rd or possibly 4th. If Kresnos has anything to say about it, he could very certainly. And look at this, Mr. Cookie trying to go for the move on Aramenev. This would very much secure the standings for the Mercedes team. Is he going to be able to hook it in the outside? Has the inside for the second corner and gets himself into P6. Aramenev will have an opportunity to come back, though. Is he going to be able to pull it off? Not quite straight off the bat, but he is going to be able to go down the inside. Does get the move done. Ferrari moves back up into P6. Mr. Cookie having absolutely none of it, though. Is going to hold the left-hand side. Ferrari defending nicely into the right-hander. Can he keep hold of it? Just look at the grip in comparison. And oh, they both go spinning off. And both drivers... Terrible mistake. I think both of them making contact with one another. I think the stewards are going to have a very hard look at that, because all of a sudden it's really good for Ferrari. Our Henson, albeit now in P4, Kresnos has indeed gotten past. That's 18 points for our Henson, and Arameleth will be bringing home, as it stands, P8. Which is 10 points, so that's 28 points. That's enough to take home the championship, excluding if it is a penalty for Amleth. I'm not sure if it is. I don't know. But just, it is convenience, shall we say. It's a convenient time or a convenient thing to happen. I'm going to just watch it again. I just want to see what happened. See if I can just see it any clearer a second time round. They both go side by side. Up the hill they go. Ferrari on the right, Mercedes on the left. Oh, I don't know. I just changed camera at the wrong time to be able to catch it. So what I'm not going to do is when we come across the line, I'm not going to say who the Constructors Champions are. Because I think we can all agree that penalty decision will probably decide it. Only issue is now Mr. Cookie, P12. So what, if they give Aronef, a 10-second time penalty, that's bumping him straight down rock bottom. Rock bottom. Which wouldn't give them enough points. Okay, so with a 10-second time penalty, yeah, it's game over. In fact, to be fair, with his 3-second time penalty at the moment, it might be game over. 15 seconds back is P10. So Aramlev would only be getting 6 points, which would lead to 22. 18 plus 6, 24. So it is just about enough. Genuinely just about. Because Aramlev P6 at the moment on 14. 14 plus 18 is 32. 32 points as it stands. With a 5-second time penalty. Yeah, oh god, yeah, with a 10-second time penalty, he goes rock bottom. 5-second time penalty, he goes P11. Brings home 4 points. Is only 22 points. So yeah, it's getting P10 really important for Aramlev. He's got to put his foot down. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And right now, that's not exactly happening. Star Wars Beast is indeed getting past there, and I think the Red Bull might just do the same thing. Straight away, one after another, losing 2 places straight off the bat is really bad for the Ferrari team. So this constructors fight is going to come down to the wire now. Aramlev P8, which secures the team 28 points. If he comes P11, if he comes P12, they do it. They do it. Because it's what? It's a 2 20, it's a 23 point, oh, it's a 23 point gap. So yeah, they need 24 points to secure it. I don't know. It's going to be, it will then be Mercedes on race wins, I'm guessing. Because Mr. Cookie's just won everything. To be fair, I will genuinely put my hands together and say well done to Ferrari, even if they do come second, with the results that they've gotten. Like it's been a huge joint effort from the Ferrari team if they manage this. But I will also then have to say, you know what, fair play to Mercedes, where it was like all of Mr. Cookie. Aramlev's trying to go for it on Daedric. Can he get it done? Not quite straight away, but enough the second time round. Interesting enough, more players have penalties now. Jens has penalties. So does Caden, both of 6 seconds. So in theory, what positions can Aramlev lose here? Aramlev can lose 2, which would push him down to P9. Which is enough. Oh, this is so unbelievably close. This is the most maths I've ever done whilst like commentating ever. Like a lot of the times we've said, oh yeah, we're gonna have what's it, a stupidly close final title fight, and then someone crashes and then it's like game over immediately. But this time it's actually this is very, very close. Obviously, Alpine are in P3. We don't really need to worry about Alpine because they just haven't shown up today. So they are not in the fight, though I don't think they really were anyway. I think they might have just about managed to stay in the fight, but it's not enough, to be fair. So Daedric, Prince and Hazard are currently just going tossling side for side. So these are the 2 drivers that will inherit Aramlev's place. Which, because Cookie's is now P11 and is looking and will be P11. He will finish P11. He'll finish on 4 points. I can almost guarantee. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up and pull 3 seconds on both of these drivers. So if Cookie finishes P11, that's 4 points. So they need 28 points. Even if Caden, he's going to try and put up a bit of... Whoa, what's happened here? All hell's broken loose. All hell has broken loose. And Aramleth picked up 6 seconds worth of time penalties, which could throw this all in jeopardy. This could really throw it all in jeopardy, as well as the fact that now Jens is in scope of Cookie. So Cookie's going to gain a position on Jez. Aramleth's going to lose a position on Daedric, but not on... Oh, on Cookie as well, actually. Oh, yeah, on Cookie. So I think all of a sudden, this is Mercedes' fight to win. It's gone from being from Ferraris to lose to Mercedes to lose. All Mr. Cookie's got to do is stay around and not pick up any penalties or crash or do anything of the likes. And he's done it. I'm fairly certain. Daedric's picked up 3-second time penalty. I don't know how much of a difference that can make in the final running order, but it could change things. I fear. Or I feel. I genuinely... Right now, my brain is so frazzled, I don't really know what's going on. And then obviously, penalties can be dished out afterwards as well. These guys are honestly fighting in a style I've never seen of the likes before. They're going for... Whoa! Whoa! How are they not dead? How Jez and Daedric aren't dead after that crash, I'm genuinely got no idea. But once again, completely throws everything on its head. Aramleth is currently on 6 seconds worth of time penalty. Mr. Cookie's currently on 3. There's a 3.7 second gap between them, and Lemons has just won the race. So this could go down to the wire. I'm genuinely going to have to do the maths after the race because Indigo and Kresnos have finished. Henson's going to come across. He's secured 4th place. F1ology, P5, Stars Beast, P6. Aramleth is going to secure P7, but only just. That's going to give them 12, 20, 30 points. Cookie's going to get 10. So I think Mercedes have won the championship. I think he has. They needed 24 points on the Mercedes team. And with 12 and 18, that's 30 points. Mercedes getting 10, it's only a 20-point gain. Don't ask me how. But Mr. Cookie's won the Constructors. Oh, right. Okay. Well, congratulations. Honestly, these front 2 drivers, phenomenal racing. But to fair play. So there we go. Orion Lemons won with the fastest time in a really impressive race, actually, with Indigo. Those two just kept on fighting all race long. Kresnos in P3, Henson P4, F1ology P5, Stars Beast P6, Aramleth P7, Cookie P8, Hazard P9, Caden P10, Daedric P11, Jens P12, Jezza P13, and Blackburn P14. And I just... Wow, yeah. That's mental. I'm going to have to just definitely check to make sure that I've counted everything up. So you got 18 points and you picked up P7. So yeah, that's 30 points. And Cookie got 10 points. So there's a 20-point gap between them. If Cookie picks up 10 points, he goes up to 181 points. And Ferrari, if they take home the 30 points that they gained, they get 178. So yeah, Mercedes do in fact win by a comfortable margin. Right. That was genuinely, I think, the closest. It's completely deflated me, actually. That is like the closest fight I've actually seen in such a long time. I mean, this is now completely false, but yeah, if you want to check it, Mercedes extra 10 points, 181. Ferrari picked up 30, 18 and 12, pushes them up to 178. So yeah, really not a lot in it. 3 points between them in the end. And I believe Jimmy has won the championship. There you go. That's your tier two news. If you're watching this and you want to know, Jimmy Jags, our wonderful beloved Jimmy Jags, has won tier two as well, and will probably be joining us back in tier one, or at least I hope he's going to be joining us back in tier one next season. I wholeheartedly have missed Jimmy in the last few races. Right. Okay. Well, on that incredible note, I think I ought to say my closing out statement for the end of BRL season 7. Um, wow, what incredible racing it's been. Um, I've got to say a massive congratulations to Mr. Cookie um for what he's done this season. Absolutely incredible. Not only um as a driver, 181 points for the Mercedes team, 175 of them were him. I mean, yeah, that's just incredible for Cookie, and you've got to really say well done to him. The total domination of the league, but also a big thank you to him for organising this every week and getting people racing. Because it's honestly a pleasure to be here, and yeah, that couldn't be done without Cookie and without the admin team behind him as well. We will be joining once again when the new F1 game releases for Season 8. I know, Season 8, how terrifying is that? But other than that, I hope that you really have enjoyed watching this, albeit slightly shortened season. I have been the Carsteristics. Thank you all so much for watching, and good night.